Hello chaps, at ease, at ease. Alright, okay, so I've been perusing upon my track layout here. Now, as you may recall, I had that huge elevated infield straight with a hairpin bend going back again, which worked wonderfully well. And it was all brand new track that I'd bought as well, so it was just the slot together stuff, in keeping with me trying to relegate the old style track for the sidelines, which I've actually done. My current layout now has no old style track in it whatsoever, but I'll get back to that. So this infield elevated section was great. It looked the business, it went really well, it was an interesting part of the track. But the only trouble was, because of the structural support it required, it meant that, you know, if a car came off a bend in the far corner, you had to be a fucking contortionist to get to it, to put it back again. And, you know, just to look at, because off camera at the moment, which I'll show you, I've done a little bit of landscaping, you know, to try and keep it sort of, you know, aesthetically pleasing. It, you know, to me, it's as important how it looks as how it operates, you know, given the fact that it's taking up 1/3 of my entire apartment now. So, but it was, yeah, there was just too much stuff there, and so I got rid of that, and I have altered this, again, just under the camera here, I have altered this infield section slightly as well, but I did think to myself, I did a little inventory last night of what I've got left over. I'll get to that as well. But what I discovered is, I've forgotten about, I have another of those hairpin bends. And then it got me thinking about how to reintegrate the elevated section again with hairpin bends. And I've come up with a solution. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to have these, I've got tons of the shelving stuff left over. So I'm going to have the poles protruding horizontally from like under the track that's on the top, and then because they're literal 180s, these hairpins, I can have the track that comes across and back again literally kind of next to each other. So using some of the metal legs protruding from the tops, it will be kind of almost like the track will be floating almost, so it will work really well, and of course it will mean that underneath it is all clear, you know, so easy access if the car goes off or want to build something else or whatever. But yeah, I did an inventory of what I've got left over. This is what there is. Now this is all old stuff, and this is what I've got left of new stuff. Now, you know, I did say I'd keep the old stuff out of it, but it does seem a shame to waste it. So I'm going to have to do something with it. You know, in the course of doing this new elevated hairpin stuff, I'm going to be using old stuff, but I've got plenty of these old to new adapter things. But these are quite interesting. Now these are actually pit lane single pieces, and I did have them as part of the track, and you know, they just split apart. It was quite interesting. There's a bit of foliage in between. But they can be a bit flaky in terms of connection. Now, I have experimented in the past with splitting track in two, and it was actually really successful. But what I did is, I had these, I used like little, like bits of Lego, thin bits of Lego pieces, like with 4 holes in, and I had them on the sides of the 2 pieces of the track, and then self-tapping screws to really join it together. And it worked really well. So I'm going to do a similar thing, except this time, if necessary, because I've got that nice, courtesy of my sister, I've got a nice, decent soldering iron now. So it might involve some blobs of solder as well, just to make sure, literally to seal the deal. But yeah, so there we go. That's what's happening today. That's today's project. I'm already quite excited about it. You know, I love this shit. I've already done this. I've already just done this light today. It's a nothing, but fuck, that didn't help. Yeah, this light thing that the plant's sat on looks better in the dark, obviously. But all that is just one of those little ever-ready push LED light things that you can change the colour of. Wired up to USB, and I've already plumbed in an old USB thing from the computer as well to give me force. So, yeah, it's great. We're already rocking and rolling. So yeah, been rambling on a bit. Obviously, it's me, innit? But obviously, bring another update as we go along and get things done. Oh, and in case you were wondering, yes, this table is an old pan, 6 tiger tins, a piece of shelving from one of my cupboards, vinyl wrapped, sprayed gloss white, and epoxy resined. And it's solid as you like. I love me some upcycling. Excellent. All right, so further update to follow. Rock and roll.